All right. Welcome to STFD Studio. My name's John, and we've got our guest Jono Tate from the local band Hatchetman in studio with us. Hey, Jono, how are you?
Hello, John. I'm very well. It's good to be here.
It's good to see you in real life. It's been a while.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought you could maybe just introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a bit about yourself as a musician and also Hatchetman.
Yeah, I'm a vaguely careerist musician. I play music full time for a living. I play acoustic music. I play electric music. I write songs. I sing songs. I perform. Hatchetman is probably my absolute baby of all the bands I'm involved in. It's a project that we started in 2013. Myself, Matt Cato, Nick Cato, and a wide variety of side acts, but we form the core of the band, and it's all about acoustic based music and close 3-part harmony singing. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I always hate those questions, so thanks.
It's all right. You're welcome anytime. So yeah, you say Hatchetman's been around for about 7 years now, and you've obviously been through,
Amazingly, yeah.
Yeah, you've been through a couple of various different lineups with different members. You've explored a few different sounds over the years. Are you happy with where you are now? Is this kind of like how you want Hatchetman to be, or is this just another stepping stone in a direction you don't know where you'll land up?
No, I've always had an extremely clear idea of what I want the band to look like on stage, and the kind of music. I didn't plan to write a song called "The Dream" 7 years ago, but as you know, being a songwriter yourself, you tend to write towards what you know you've got at your disposal within a band situation. So I've always written with the end goal in mind of the particular production and the version or the vision I'd like to give people of what Hatchetman sounds like. And we've worked towards that in fits and starts over the last 7 years. As things stand, we seem to be in the position where we can start development on the final product that I envisaged 7 years ago as being the 10-year goal. So we're 7 years in, and somehow, in spite of everything that's happened, we still are somehow on track with my idea. Obviously, we've had some interesting moments where my idea hasn't been brought across very clearly, or Oaks have decided that they didn't feel like doing that idea. But we're back together with the aim of that getting that idea together again soon. And you asked the question, what do we, what does it look like, and is it going to work? Well, I don't know. We're going to be together in a room hopefully soon, and we're gonna find out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a natural part of being in a band, right?
God, don't ask me. I don't know what being in a band is about.
like,
It just feels like a dysfunctional family to me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and I think that means that you guys are in a good place. If you think of each other as family, I think that's a good sign. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I've always tried to do that with projects that I'm involved in as well. Rather love the people that you're with so intensely that it feels like your family, than just work with people that
100%.
aren't on board with the idea.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I think from my side, I think Hatchetman seemed like you guys are in a good position. I know that behind the scenes there's some exciting things going on, which will be announced in the near future. And I think you guys are in a good place. But you mentioned yourself and Nick and Matt Cato, the brothers, are kind of the core of Hatchetman at the moment, and I know that they were there from near the beginning at least. I'm not sure if it was right from the very beginning.
Well, I mean, the beginning was me picking up a guitar and then meeting them, and
Yeah.
that's when the band started.
Okay.
The first time we sang together.
Cool. Yeah, so you and them obviously both come from families that have been very entrenched in the local live music scene, more along the folk side of things as well, and they've been decades now that your parents and Matt and Nick's relatives have been performing in South Africa. Do you think that this has had a big impact on your sound as a band? And do you think the legacy that you're all a part of holds any value in the music industry now?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to remind me of the second part of the question when I'm done with the first part. our family being involved in what they've been involved in has been an absolutely crucial part in our coming together as a threesome. What a wonderful thing to have said.
A trio.
Thanks. Yeah, later there's a foursome involved as well. Yeah, so the Blundells have their roots stretch back to the '60s with Nick and Matt's granddad. As far as I know, basically pulling his kids out of school and hitting the road and just playing music with them. So this musical family in a combi traveling around South Africa in the 60s.
That's crazy. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, and then in the 70s, Granddad Keith was on TV. I mean, he was a massive celebrity in South Africa in the 70s. And Johnny Blundell has been part of many bands and currently runs a studio himself at a wonderful live venue called Root Spring House. Caroline Blundell is just one of the most gifted, and to bring in the folk aspect, one of the most gifted and real folk artists I think this country's ever produced. A most magnificent singer and unbelievably talented guitar player, and a wonderful songwriter as well, which is a large part of what makes folk. And Julie for years ran a thing called the Rhythm Workshop, which was all about, I think, helping underprivileged kids play music. That was her whole drive. When it came to my side of things, my dad's been a musician since forever. He played professionally for 30 years and then opened a live music venue as well called the Alma Cafe. And I think what that entire generation had in common was the music of the 60s and the 70s, the acoustic-based music of the 60s and the 70s, whether that's the country side of things, the West Coast soft rock scene, be it Crosby, Stills and Nash from my dad's side or James Taylor from the Blundell side. They very much brought us up on a steady diet of that kind of stuff. Certainly from my point of view, my dad always, threw in a hefty dose of Neil Young and Bob Dylan and stuff like the Rolling Stones into my mix as well. And then I kind of went off into a slightly heavier direction as well. But basically, where that all comes home to roost for the three of us is in quite a wide-ranging confluence of sounds and influences. And I think the acoustic nature of what we do is largely to do with the fact that our harmony singing, which is the absolute feature of what we do, is aided by playing acoustic instruments. It makes it easier. It's also more convenient to rehearse, because you can rehearse in a lounge. And I've lost track of the question now. How did our folks influence us? So us listening to all of that music and them themselves being largely acoustic based musicians, it was just a kind of a no-brainer. We had these stacks of acoustic guitars lying around, or I certainly did, and we got Matt a cajon pretty early on, and it was just a matter of circumstance that, well, this is what we're good at, let's do that.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lot of people would assume that, knowing you and knowing the Blundell family and your family, I think it's just a natural thing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, John knows me well enough to know that him chucking the word folk in there was always going to get a grimace. I'm as much a fan of Crosby, Stills and Nash as I am of Led Zeppelin. Ironically enough, Led Zeppelin also writes acoustic music. Neil Young is fully a 50-50 electric music and a musician and an acoustic musician. So I don't buy into this folk crap. It's not my vibe at all.
Yeah, I think the word folk over the years has kind of got a bit of a different meaning. Rather, I mean, obviously within music you get traditional folk music like Irish folk music, or from any country African folk music or whatever. That's obviously not what we're talking about here. And the genre folk has so many sub genres underneath it. I think
It's just become
just
a bit
a broader,
of a meaningless mush, really.
Yeah, I mean,
you see an acoustic guitar, it's called folk.
yeah, and I think I'm guilty of making that mistake often. Read the word folk, you mean the word acoustic.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's
I know,
no judgment,
I know I'm a
man.
dreadful
No
pedant
judgment.
around it, but it's really something that sticks in my craw, Okay.
All right. So the second part of the question was, do you think the legacy that your family and the Blundell family have, and the foothold they've had in the South African music scene over the years, has helped you guys in any way, or
Without a doubt.
or do you hold any value in that?
Absolutely. I think the two main folks, or the two main points there, would be that with Nick and Matt choosing to focus on music in their life, they are effectively the third generation of musicians in Cape Town, South Africa, and that to me that's a dynasty,
Yeah, it's special, right?
Absolutely, it's something that you can't really imagine or make up. It's got to take 3 generations to come to fruition. As far as my folks' input goes, the fact that they opened a small, intimate, sit-down, acoustic-based venue has done nothing. Excuse me. Has done nothing but help our cause. We've been able to build up a very loyal following through just that venue. Never mind all the other venues we've gotten to play and all the other wonderful events we've gotten to do. We can always go back home, as it were, to the Alma Cafe and get a room full of people who are thrilled to hear what we do. And I suppose there is a symbiotic relationship between having that as our home base, in a sense, also, what's the word I'm looking for? Soliciting the music that we write, because, well, if we're going to play there, we can write music for there. So I think there's no doubt that the choices and the decisions made by our parents, and in their case their parents, has been absolutely crucial in every aspect of what we do. I've highlighted the two main ones, but we wouldn't be the musicians that we are, we wouldn't be the people that we are, and we wouldn't be the combination that we are if it wasn't for all those people who went before us. You can't ever discount legacy and everything to do with human relationships, Yeah.
Well, I mean, I totally agree. And from a perspective of someone who's not in the band, but knows everyone that we're talking about here, there's definite value in everything that they've laid down, for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're the first guest that we've had for these live performances here at the studio. Obviously,
We got through 3 questions.
the world's sick of talking about the coronavirus, so we're not going to do that. We're just we're a small company.
You can just stop it by saying the world is sick.
Yeah, we're obviously a small company that have been doing things in the Cape Town scene for like a couple of years now, and now we have this amazing studio at our disposal, and we're trying to adapt to the times. So you're going to play a few songs for us.
I am indeed.
And it's been a pleasure having you here. Thanks for coming to join us.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for having me. It's always good to be somewhere other
Yeah.
than my lounge.
Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoys the music. And please follow Hatchetman and Jono on all the platforms. We'll link everything in our descriptions on the videos. And we'll see you on a stage, hopefully sooner rather than later.
6 months, 8 months or so. Looking forward to it.
Cool,
Thanks,
man. Thanks
John.
for coming.
Cool. walking on down the road. Oh, I've got no place to go. Yeah, I'm waiting on you to show. So come on now, girl, let's go. So come on now, girl, let's go. Somebody once said to me that yourself is who to be, and the truth runs deep inside, but it's gonna set you free. Oh, it's gonna set you free. Won't you make my dreams come true here beside the ocean blue? I always thought that a woman like you was a song worth writing true. Was a song worth writing true. Was a song worth writing true. Hello everyone. What are we at? Good afternoon. It's great to see you all here. Coming at you live from STFD Studios. Once again performing for an array of cameras. Hello. Hi. But this time I get to chat live with you, so that's an improvement. That first song was a tune called Down the Road. It's a brand new song. This is real folk, folks. Microphones, acoustic guitars, tuning by ear. Fuck tuning by ear, I'm going to tune by cell phone. We can edit that part out. Alright folks, I'm going to jump into one of the classics. I sometimes tell the story of playing a festival with this song a few years ago and not recognizing anyone in the audience, but seeing a whole bunch of people singing the chorus back to me, which is really cool. But I've subsequently kind of realized that it's probably just because it's a very simple chorus and they learnt it by the second chorus. But anyway, it's a tune called Slow Down. It's nice to be playing this song in this room again. It's been a while. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Won't the world just hide its head for a while? My head is aching, oh my legs are shaking. I just need to lie here quiet for a while. No, you're not allowed to slow down. No, you're not allowed to be. No, you're not allowed to slow down. There's always someone out there better than me. Any day now, really, these sunny days, they fail me. Well, I wake up in the darkest of holes, the marks you have all over, 9 tails of 4-leaf clover, signs with which you call me every day. No, you're not allowed to slow down. No, you're not allowed to be. No, you're not allowed to slow down. 'Cause there's always someone out there better than me. I wish you knew me, lover. Wish that we could discover the joy of knowing we were meant to be. Every day I'm saying, yeah, I'm so glad you're staying. There ain't no way I can make it on my own. No, you're not allowed to slow down. No, you're not allowed to be. No, you're not allowed to slow me down. There's always someone out there better than me. Cool. Where's my plectrum? So the song that I'm going to play now, it's a tune called Berlin, and I always laugh at home because it's a song that's managed to become a bit of an earworm for my girlfriend, and she's always singing it. I'd like to go and see Berlin, but she sings the wrong words every time, which really irks me. But anyway, I wrote the song wishing I could go and do the busking in Berlin thing because I was all cool a few years ago. Singing it now, I'm just thrilled that I'm out of my house today. like a dare. Come inside, he closed the door, saying we should share. In the air, your body bare, knowing that our minds connect, tasting smells of summer sweat, sleeping in the afternoon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Clap, clap, clap. This streaming stuff is weird, eh? It's one thing rehearsing a song and playing it as with rehearsal in mind, but performing a song with no feedback. I suppose I've been doing it for years in bars. What am I talking about? Righty, the next song has to do with on-the-road love affairs. One of the joys about being a musician is that you get to meet a lot of people. You get to work in a lot of combinations, unless you're kind of lucky enough to be in one band and just have that to focus on. So I've found myself writing the most ridiculous music for plays and theatre musicals. And this particular song is not one of the theatre songs, but it's a story about what happened during one of those theatre tours between me and the lead actress. Fun times. Not. Feels like I barely even got to know you, but you were sitting right by my side. Watch the sun go down on a new world I won't hide. Night was cold and my bed was empty. Heart was burning with an age-old fire. Old destruction smoldering gently. Now I'm alive. Came home to a world that's burning. Couldn't breathe in the atmosphere. My lungs were filled with despair and disaster, but I'm still here. hour and two. Cool. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the ongoing support for all the live musicians that's been going around. We are all very aware of it. Thank you so much, everyone, for what you've been doing. Big thank you to STFD Studios, John Shaban, Kevin Ramage, and Stanley Sibande. You guys are doing amazing work here. Thank you. To all the musicians who probably aren't watching this, have a chat to John and Kevin. They're definitely going to help you out. Righty, folks, we've arrived at the last song for this little set. It's a song called The Dream. And I suppose it's optimism in the face of blinding reality. Nonetheless, here goes. You were there, now you're gone and I'm waiting for the light to fade, and I'm hating the way you make me feel, the way you make me feel. Were you there in this room we used to play in, laughing, crying and saying we were always true without playing? Was it real? Was it real? Mama, help me. Yeah, I'm falling over. The ground's far beneath me. Up in the clouds. Oh, mama, help me. Yeah, I'm falling over. The ground's far beneath me. Up in the clouds. In the dream, all I heard is the cheering of the people in the clearing, full of joy in what they were hearing. It was real, yeah, it was real. Now, mama, help me. Oh, I'm falling over. Ground's far beneath me, up in the clouds. Oh, mama, help me. Yeah, I'm falling over. Ground's far beneath me, up in the clouds. Mama, can you help me? I'm falling over, up in the clouds. Thank you. Go well and wear your masks at all times.